Hi, it's Nicole, and welcome to my channel where I get vocal about workplace bullying, harassment, intimidation, and all actions in between. Now, listen, I am excited. I have my second guest to the channel. This is Vanessa. Today, we are going to get into some details about what it means to work for a Black organization, being a person of color in the arts.
Here's one thing that would be said. One thing they would say that I would be like, my eyes would literally pop because I would just be like, and she would be sitting there and I would have been insulted if I was her because I would be told, hey, Vanessa, sometimes you got to manage up. You got to manage up. It's like you're asking me to manage my manager managing me. So she can't manage. She's not a good manager. Because if I've never, ever been asked to do that by any employer that I've ever had, I've never been asked to manage my manager managing me. Never. And she will sit there and be like, and it's like, girl, that should be an insult to you. To me, I would be insulted if somebody said that to someone that works under me.
Well, I think you have to be in the right frame of mind to understand what that is insinuating.
Yeah.
And, it can't be assumed that she even gets it.
Because in my head, I would just be like, this.
I mean, you don't know how many times I've been told by the board chair, whomever, is like, we don't sit snack all the time. Hang in there. That's all you got is hang in there. That's all you have. What about really making sure that resources are poured into her so that even if we are hanging in there, we see improvement?
They just want to show up to the gala. That's it.
When you first came on board, you had one, supervisor.
Mm-hmm.
She pretty much left as soon as you got there.
Mm-hmm.
A couple of months later, you have a new one.
Mm-hmm. What
has that experience been like?
That experience, and it's a multi-layered thing. I don't point blame at just like one person, right? Number one, the organization never had a very strong onboarding process to begin with. So that's not
a loose way of saying it, but okay.
I'm trying to be nice.
Okay,
trying to be nice.
Sorry, sis, go ahead.
I tried. But they never had a strong onboarding process to begin with. They didn't really have, honestly, a lot of standards.
Policies, procedures.
There was never really anything there wasn't many formalities or even much that, that was a really hard transition because when I first started, I got hired for one thing. And then I had one person telling me one thing, another person telling me another thing. And then when the person that was training me left, literally the Ursula just completely flipped the switch. And then it just became it was just a lot that I was trying to take on all at one time. But I was trying my best to manage the best I could. Then we get someone new, which I was actually very, 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 very happy because it was I was to a point where I was getting burnt out. It was becoming a lot for me to handle by myself. And I felt really excited to have someone
to give you direction, clarity.
That's really what I needed. Right. I really needed direction because I was new.
Mm-hmm.
I'm stuck. Even a year later, I'm still technically new. So, she comes on. At first, red flag. We never had a real one-on-one. There was never a, hey, Vanessa, let's go out to eat and figure each other out and let me talk to you and figure out everything because Ursula really didn't help me.
Mm-hmm.
I managed all of that by myself. Ursula would come to me and I would see her do this. She would come to me, ask me questions. It was like pick my brain.
Yeah.
And then go into meetings with the new person and regurgitate it like she came up with this. And I would watch her do that. I just told you that 5 minutes ago. But she would say it like she has been in the weeds when she hadn't been.
Yeah.
So I actually felt bad for the new person because I'm like, she's about to be no help. She gonna make you think she knows all of this stuff that she doesn't know. And little do you know, she's coming to me before your meetings, getting all the information she's about to regurgitate to you as if she knows, but she doesn't. So now it's like I'm already starting to feel a little anxious because now it's like you're positioning yourself a certain way.
Yeah.
And then this new person, me and her haven't even spoken. And I don't know, in the middle of all of this, I'm trying to figure out I know what my role is on paper, but really, where do I come into play in all of this? Right? So, she has great skills. I would never take that from her. She's strong in a lot of areas. But then I started noticing, much like Ursula, I'm like, okay, how do we execute? I come from a project management background. Heavy on the project management, worked for a lot, for not a lot, but I've worked for quite a few agencies and I've worked for a lot of brands in those agencies where we have systems of project management and how we execute things, right? Timelines, all of those different things, briefs, we have briefings, we check in we're literally checking in every day. I used to talk to my bosses 5-6 times a day because things will be changing. You got to get on the phone. I'm used to a little bit more structure in how we work together. It's like nobody's really leading. It's like Ursula's not leading and the new person's not leading. So I'm just kind of like, okay, so who am I taking directions from? Because neither one of y'all are really talking to me. New person, she just off in her own little world. And then I have to call her for information that you're supposed to be leading me. Like, I don't know. Now I'm also dealing with my role changing. Again, for the third time. But not only is it changing, I'm not really being told exactly what the changes are. And I'm not really being told any of that. It's very blurry. But I'm also trying to respect the new person and be like, okay, maybe let me step back and try to watch how they do things and try to just like double dutch. I'm trying to figure out when I could jump in because I'm trying to feel you out. And it's just like nothing. It started to feel like you really want me to be like your personal assistant when that's not what I am. But even further than that, even if that's what you wanted, it's the fact that you did not articulate really anything. I had to go and tell Ursula how I felt about you, for her to come to talk to you, for you to talk to me. For you to finally set up a meeting for us to talk. But even in that meeting, nothing.
Yeah.
I told her stuff, still. It was like, okay. And once you get to a place where you feel like, all right, that was my way of trying to be proactive. Like, okay, I'm trying to feel you out, see where you're going with this. And then now I'm still lost, so let me go and talk to you myself. Let me try to figure this out. Let me, you're not doing that back. You're not giving that back. And then the vibe I was really getting is, this is all about you. This is not about team. This is not about working together. This is about you. You want to be all about you.
Right.
This is your idea, what you want. You're not interested in being team players.
Yeah.
You're not really interested. And one thing for me, like, I'm big on, I want to learn from people. I love learning. I love learning new skills. I just like to learn. When I feel like your ego is too big to the point where, and I can't even sit here and say that I wouldn't have learned nothing from her. I think I could have, but I think the ego was just too big. It's a lot of levels of me. Really, I'm a really, really, really sweet person. I consider myself a very humble person. I consider myself like, I don't let my title lead me. Right? Like, my title doesn't dog walk me. You get what I'm saying?
Yes.
So my character leads me.
Right.
Not my title. Not my accolades. I don't walk around telling you everything I've ever done in my career. Most people don't really know. Unless I really tell you. And I think because of that, I've just always, they felt like, oh, I could just treat you however. You know what I mean?
I mean, the silence will confuse people every time. Because in their mind, oh, she's being silent, meaning I can antagonize her or disrespect her or belittle her because she's going to take it. And it's given, no, I'm using restraint right now. You know, I am preserving my energy because you're on some foolishness, and I really just want to be able to come in here and do what it is that I know what I need to do for the pro-Black people. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just,
right. It's like I'm on something completely different.
Right.
I'm not here to beat on my chest. Right? I see that that's what y'all want to do, and that's fine. I'm not getting in the game on that one.
Right.
I'm not going to fight over the mic. If y'all want to hear y'all stuff talk, boom, got it.
Mm-hmm.
I'll sit here and be quiet, and I'll do whatever y'all ask me to do, because it is very clear that you don't want to work with me. Keyword, with me. You want me to work under you and be my existence under you. Mm-hmm. That's where I had to draw the line, though. It's one thing for you to want me to work under you and, you know, do little petty stuff. Okay, whatever, because I will sit back and collect the check all day. But when you want me to exist, my existence to be under you, like as if I am to be beneath you, that's where we have the problem. And that's where I kind of draw the line, because you're not going to ever be above me. Ever. I don't care who you are. I don't care. We are equals to me. Right. All of us are equals. I don't care who you are. We're all Black people. We all say we pro-Black. So we all on the same level to me.
Yeah.
You're not better than me. The title don't mean nothing to me. You are a person that walked up in here like the person that left out of here. And I think also respect is a two-way street.
Absolutely.
If you want me to respect you, you got to respect me. Right? You can't disrespect me and then be like, he's supposed to. Because that you're leaning too much on that title.
So how would you classify her management skills?
I don't want to say what I want to say.
Okay.
But yeah. I'm going to say it. Because she even said it.
Okay.
I'm going to say what she said.
Okay.
Okay? This is what she said. I didn't say it. Her words, not mine. She said to me when we met, be patient with me, because I have not managed no one to this magnitude before.
Okay, pause. She hasn't managed anyone to what magnitude? You're one person.
Well, I'm going to say magnitude. I've never managed anyone to this capacity. Let's change the word.
Capacity.
She's never managed anyone in this capacity.
But you're still one person. So what's the capacity, though? The capacity of managing anyone at all? The capacity of managing
questions that need answers? Because in my mind, I thought the same thing. Because I'm like, I'm one person. Mm-hmm. It's literally teamwork. Like,
right,
to me, it's literally teamwork. It's literally, and what it really sounds like is you're not used to having to consider anybody.
Well, then it also goes back to your point. She's looking for an assistant. So she doesn't know how to manage anybody because her brain is on a whole different aspect. It's giving, I don't know how to manage you as my assistant versus I don't know how to work with you as a team. Two different aspects. So I can get it in terms of that.
I don't know. That was very, when she said that, I was really taken aback by that.
I mean, that's
I was very taken aback because in my mind, I'm just like, you made it all the way to director without managing.
She wouldn't have been the only one. Listen.
It's very true. And it's not even to disrespect anybody. Because one thing about me, I always say I'm a respect person because I am. But I will say it is a way, and here's the thing, I'm okay with that. I'm okay with you being transparent with me, right?
Right.
But I think your ego should match that.
Absolutely.
I could be flexible with you all day. Right. I could be patient with you all day. I think that you need to bring it down, though.
Right.
Bring it down. Mm-hmm. Like, you need to really be humble. If you know you've not really, this ain't really what you, because you need me to also, we got to be patient with each other at this point. Because you got to also keep in mind, I'm used to something else. You're used to something else. So it's not fair that I have more grace and understanding for you than you do for me.
Yeah, you're being the one told to give that person grace.
Give her grace. Give her grace. Give her grace. And I'm like, I'm graced out.
Just like we were told, be patient with her. You know, we know that she doesn't know what she's doing, but, you know, in time, great things are coming. And it's given like...
And the thing is...
we're supposed to sacrifice.
Right.
They're not supposed to actually improve for the better. And
for me, like I said, I do have standards for my management too.
Right.
The standards and expectations are mutual for me. And when you get to a point where you don't know how to speak to me, when we're in a public place, we got on gowns, makeup, we dressed up, you know, we got very important people, and you are talking to me in a way that is unacceptable.
Now, was she talking to you or talking at you?
It was talking at me. And it was very disrespectful. And I also felt like it was just very classless, because you're in a like, there's a certain setting we're in right now.
Yeah.
And you are like literally the way in which you're talking, it almost made me feel embarrassed for her too. Because you don't even care how you look in front of these people that are walking around. And it just instantly was like, okay, yeah, this is my last day.
You know, sometimes people don't care how they look because they're trying to put on a facade as if they are, you know.
And that's what I thought. Like, maybe she's just putting on for her people that she know here. But even if, you should still have the self-respect for yourself. Like, I don't need to, if I got to do all that, I don't got to talk to you crazy for other people to respect me. They respect me because they respect me.
Right.
I don't have to talk to you crazy for them to see me a certain way, because I carry myself like that in real life.
Especially in front of non-Black people. You know what I mean? Because we're supposed to be the example of how we're supposed to treat each other. And if we're showing other people this is how we treat each other, we definitely. And
it's just, I just felt like when that happened, I was done. It would have been different if it would have been like, you gathered yourself.
Yeah.
You came back. Vanessa, I'm so sorry for how I talked to you. It was inappropriate.
No, I've shared with you before, because I am from that theatrical side, I always give extra grace on event and performance day, because people, you know, be in a moment of high anxiety. But to your point, you know, there is a certain level of grace to be given, because, you know, we're in a moment of turn it on, fast paced, high energy. But then how does that attribute to the days when this is all turned off and you're still that way?
But here's another, let's go a step further. And then it goes from, I have to go talk to Ursula and let her know that, look, I will quit today, right now, because I'm not going to let anyone talk to me in a disrespectful way at all. And then once, I'm not sure if she went and spoke to her, but now you're kind of being passive aggressive, and it's really giving, well, if I can't disrespect you, then I can't work with you. And see, that's where I knew that was going to be the end for me. Right. Because I don't care who your parents are. I don't care who you are, what you done. You a human to me.
Right. We're equal.
We're all equal. That your character is what you, that's how I treat you, based off your character. The respect I give you is based off of your character. And based off of that character, there's not much to respect.
Right.
You ain't had to do nothing but be respectful. That's the only job. You had one job. But you let that title, who you connected to and all that, pump you up. You a person to me. Just like you a person. I look at y'all the same.
Right.
I would look at her and the trash man the same. Y'all are the same. Because I'm really pro-Black in real life. I look at all of us the same. You're not better than me. She's not better than you. I'm not better than her. We're all the same.
Right.
We all the same. How I would talk to you is how I would talk to her. How I would talk to Ursula is how I would talk to the board chair. I would talk to all of y'all the exact same. And I'm going to lead you with respect, because you are a human being first. Before your titles, before anything you've done, before the money you make, you are a human being first. And because of that, you deserve my utmost respect until you show me otherwise. That's called character, ladies and gentlemen.
What are you most disappointed about regarding the organization?
What I'm most disappointed about is that it has no standards. There's no standards. There's no like expectations, right? I think there's no real passion. There's no real, it's just not real. There's nothing about it that's genuine. It's very disingenuous. That's disappointing. It's disappointing that I really believe that most of these people just want a social climb, and that is it. And it does bring down the morale of then you end up in situations like this. Well, the oldest person on the team been there 5 months now. And before that, it was me that was there for a year. right? Like, and you're okay with that. You're okay with that. And here's my thing that really gets me is, this is an organization that has 35 years under its belt. You want to go down as the person that messed it up? Like, your name is on the books. And here's another thing. You never know who people become.
That part.
You never know. You never know. Today, somebody could be working for you today. Okay? Half your donors is halfway in the grave. Let's start off there. Okay? I'm just being real. They're a little older. You're trying to get some younger people now. Right? You never know. You never know. You know what I'm working on.
Oh, no.
And it's... Because you can't make this up. Like, everything we're telling you can. Thank God I am a creative, and it got to a point where I felt like I went from being an employee to almost being like an investigator.
No facts.
And I'm just at this point. It went from I'm more intrigued as a creative. I'm intrigued by this, like, because I've never experienced this before, and I would have never known that nonprofit is like this. It's one of those things where, to me, it's just taking lemons and making lemonade. It's like, because like I said, it went from me being disappointed and all these different emotions to me being intrigued.
Yeah.
As a creative, like, wow, there are people really like, because this is a world that I'm not used to.
Right.
For me, this is my own experience, and I never would have thought that this was, but even seeing the parallels between white supremacy and elitism. You know what I mean? And how we weaponize those things. That to me is almost, it's not similar because as Black people, we really don't have economic power like that, but it still shows how we are still also influenced by white supremacy. And how, like, we don't realize it.
Right.
It's subconscious, right? How we want to keep groups down, our own people down, to lift ourselves up. That's the same thing they're doing.
Yeah.
And then we say, I'm pro-Black. It's the irony of the whole, it's almost comical.
Yeah.
You are one decision away from being poor. You are one decision away from being rich. Right? We are literally all the same. And I think to get, what they call it, you know, when you got too much dip on your chip, you're setting yourself up to have a harsh fall.
Yeah.
And I believe in God.
Mm-hmm.
And I'd rather humble myself before God have to humble me.
Right.
I know people use God and people love to walk around the office talking about God, but you know when somebody know who God is by the fruit of their spirit and how they treat people.
Right.
You can't just wheel around the name of God around me, because I really read my Bible for it. If it don't show it in how you act towards others, I don't really look at you. I just think you're just using the name just to be saying it. You want to, again, it's smoke and mirrors. People that just say stuff to be saying stuff, they don't believe in it. They're just talking.
What is your takeaway?
Oh, my takeaway. Honestly, I look at this as just an experience. As a writer, this was just an experience. I feel like God put me here to get a story. And I got a story.
Hey!
That's it. I felt like I was a journalist doing at some point. I think I went in with passion.
Right.
I went in with, I'm excited. In order to even stay as long as I did, I think I had to look at it like, ooh, girl, this is actually a really good story you could tell. Really what I got out of it.
Lemons into lemonade. Vanessa, I want to personally say to you, I am proud of you.
Thank you.
And
I'm proud of you too.
And I would say there are great things to come, but I really do despise that phrase. So I'm going to say I am looking forward to witnessing all of the amazing adventures you have coming up.
Yes.
And I'm blessed to be associated with another strong, powerful, talented woman.
Thank you. You're
welcome. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope that you enjoyed this girl chats. And I would love to say every time as I close out, I'll always let y'all know, if no one told you today, let me be the one to say I love you, because I don't want to take it for granted that people actually hear those words often. So thank you for tuning in. Bye.
Bye.